Nobody ever feared LeBron. This is one of the stupidest myths that the old heads try to push about LeBron. People that actually played against him will tell you that they were
terrified of that man.
I'm not listening to some old head watching the game on their couch with Cheeto Puff dust on their hands.
This narrative was not created by old heads. It was created by LeBron James's own teammate, Mario Chalmers. He said this and made it popular.
Nobody fears Bron. Nobody's like, damn, I gotta go play this Bron tonight. Nobody said that. I don't know why.
Right.
Because I've seen people be scared when they actually line up to him, but they're not scared thinking about that matchup.
Right.
Exhibit A, Tim Duncan.
What do you think is wrong with LeBron James' offense?
I don't think there's anything wrong with LeBron's offense.
I'll rephrase the question. What are you guys doing schematically to limit him offensively?
We're guarding him with 5 guys. He is the best player in the world, so we're respecting him as that.
This was the 2007 NBA Finals when LeBron James was only 22 years old when he dragged that bum-ass Cavs team to the NBA Finals.
That's a lot of lying in a very short amount of time. Number one, Tim Duncan didn't say that in 07. He said it in 2013. My evidence is I will play the original video from NBA.com, and if you listen to the guy interviewing Duncan, he will mention LeBron's MVP season. LeBron didn't have a damn MVP in 07 yet.
Timmy, in your opinion, what do you think is wrong with LeBron James' offense?
I don't think there's anything wrong with LeBron's offense.
Well, he's under 20 points 3 games in a row. He's not putting up the numbers he had early in the playoffs or he did during the MVP season. So then I'll rephrase the question. What are you guys doing schematically to limit him offensively?
We're guarding him with 5 guys.
Hopefully, this can kill this narrative once and for all. I've been seeing this floating around the internet for quite some time. Debunked. Number 2, LeBron was not guarded by all 5 Spurs. That would leave every Cavalier open. You guys act like he's Spike from the Cowboys versus the Little Giants. But instead of breaking it down, I'll let Mike Brown tell it, the coach of the Cavaliers in 2007.
You know, it was great during the regular season, and it got us through our defense, and that got us through during the playoffs. But when we went up against that well-oiled machine, and they basically, wherever Bruce was going to pick and roll, and Bruce was quick, and you know he was feisty, tough, hungry, all that stuff. Bruce went all the way under and just waited on LeBron at the free throw line, and then the big waited on LeBron at the free throw line, and now they forced him to take jumpers at the time. That hurt me because it was hard to make adjustments at that time that drastically to your offense to try to beat those guys. Because if you look at the score, it wasn't like we got blown out 100 to 79. They were 85, 82. You know, they were close games, but it was because we just couldn't. We were solid defensively. We couldn't score.
And Tim Duncan, one of the 10 greatest players of all time, shuts down this reporter trying to imply that something was wrong with LeBron. And Duncan told the truth. The reason that they were able to stop him is because they were
quadruple teaming him,
guarding him with everybody. If Tim Duncan says that his team was so afraid of LeBron James scoring that they guarded him with 5 people, I'm gonna believe him.
Tim Duncan said respected. That is not fear. Also, Mike Brown literally told us that they were letting him shoot because his jumper was quite unreliable at that time. He shot 35% from the field, 20% from deep. The only thing I could say where LeBron got special attention, well, obviously when he drove to the paint, like any other player, they're gonna collapse the defense or suck the D in, sorry. But the only thing I could say, which is very minimal and sometimes happened, LeBron would be in single coverage and a guy will just leave their man to double team him. And when I say rarely, I mean barely, but it did happen. Outside of that, the Spurs doubled every pick and roll. Almost every single one, not just for LeBron.
Exhibit B, LeBronto. The entire city of Toronto gets war flashbacks thinking about what LeBron did to them all those years in the East. DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, they couldn't catch a break against LeBron James in the playoffs, bro. No matter what they tried, they could not beat him. Not when he had Kyrie, not after Kyrie left, and then the Raptors had a better team and had the #1 seed in the East. Even then, they still couldn't beat LeBron. 2018 LeBron destroyed them. He was literally just toying with those guys, throwing up crazy fadeaways, buzzer beater floaters. He was doing whatever he wanted to the Raptors, bro. They were terrified of him. If you ask those Raptor players, what happened? How'd they collapse? All they're going to say is LeBron James.
Isn't it your job to supply at least one clip of one of those Toronto players saying they feared LeBron? I saw DeRozan, Fred Van, Kyle Lowry, Big Mac combo, Bismack Biyombo. The whole damn team, not one of them said the word fear, afraid, terrified. None of them. Now, am I saying any of this to diminish LeBron? No, because he dominated them. But we're talking about the word fear. I'm not saying there are 0 NBA players that fear LeBron, but can you provide any? The closest I came was Bismack Biyombo, but he didn't say it.
Kyle Lowry and I were joking a lot. He said, "What are you afraid of?" I said, "I'm never afraid of human beings. I'm afraid of lions." And then he laughed. I said, "No, I'm serious." Well, why would I be afraid of a human being? I'm gonna be afraid of a lion. And then they asked me if I was afraid of LeBron. I said, I'm not afraid of LeBron or any human being. I'm afraid of a lion. I respect the competition, but I'm just afraid of a lion.
All right, I'm about to rant, and then I'm gonna get on out of here. It's on topic, don't worry. This is why I despise LeBron fans. Look at how out of your way you go to make up a fake narrative. Every player I'm about to name, I like way more than LeBron, but I try my best to keep it real. Michael Jordan had several extremely ugly games in the playoffs. Larry Bird, some ugly moments. Wilt Chamberlain wilted in the playoffs sometimes. Magic Johnson had Tragic Johnson. Kobe Bryant had the air balls. He had the weird moment versus the Suns, and he blames himself, and a lot of people blame him for losing to the Pistons. And, of course, the ugly Game 7 versus the Celtics. That's a lot of moments, Kobe, Jesus. And I could keep going on and on. Charles Barkley with I think he scored 1 basket? Or was it 0 field goals? Something, it was atrocious. My point is, it does not hurt me to do this. I don't love these players like y'all love LeBron. Stop being emotional in these debates. And please, stop lying.
The reason that they were able to stop him is because they were
Quadruple teaming him.
That time in the ISO, they have to have help defense and try to contain Tony Parker. James spinning, the fall away. That you've had picking him up full court and making him work. So now LeBron James catches the ball with just 10 seconds on the shot clock. James inside, blocked by Duncan. 4 on the shot clock. James for 3. Here's what I love about it. A great coach is like a great parent. Don't be satisfied. Continue to love, continue to nurture, but also be demanding. And you look at the final results, and you can't argue with Tony.
Well, despite missing 7 shots in a row, Cavs only down by 3 as we come up on 3 minutes remaining. James the rebound. Again, James is scoreless, yet they're only down 5. That was one of the effective things as he goes to the rim and draws the foul. Game 6 against Detroit, he was only 3 for 11, and they still win it, 1 going away.
Say LeBron James is not doing the right thing. A lot of contact by Roberto. LeBron James
over a second difference between game clock and shot clock. James, shot clock at 2. Offensive foul. As a player.
Well, there's no question about it. He is really one of the assistant coaches on the bench. Does those keys to the series.
Bad pass deflected off the rim, and a turnover. They missed 10 of their last 12, San Antonio. James on a pull-up.
Good job not allowing him to get into a threatening area.
Hughes. And gets the fall. Larry Hughes, you can tell he's not 100%. There's LeBron James greeting his teammates. Love the way they've come back. San Antonio came out early, quickly went up by 6. But the Cavs have stormed back, a 9-point turnaround. They lead by 3 here in the second. Court with a slight limp again, that plantar fascia. James gets inside, short ball tipped and taken by Parker.
By far their most effective defender on Parker. Larry Hughes is too hobbled to be able to guard the quickness.
But he gives a lot of that credit to Popovich.
And defensively is the reason why they're only down 4 in this first half. They've gotten it done defensively and given themselves a chance.
Gibson inside, banks it in. Boobie Gibson with a pretty happen.
The 2 guys on the outside have got to come in and pinch and get the free throw line.
James misses 0 for 8. Parker and Duncan each with 16. James to the basket, inside, banks it in, and there's his first field goal after missing his initial 8 shots from the field. Just like Game 6 against Detroit, took them to the third quarter to get it. James for 3, won't go. 1 for 10 from the field. Remaining in the third. LeBron James to the basket. Duncan the rebound, 52. James. Just not happening tonight, as he's now 2 for 13 from the field.
Right there, if you saw him. Then he comes off a baseline screen. Bowen shot the gap over the top. Took 1 dribble into his pull-up at 12 feet.
Whoa. An air ball, much to the delight of the San Antonio crowd. It has been a rough start in his first finals.
He's 22 years old when he dragged that bum-ass Cavs team to the NBA Finals.
And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair. We lost as a team. We lost as a team, man.
Tell your friends about me.